Welcome to the Austin History Center, and today we are proud to announce the award, the Catherine Drake Hart Award that we're presenting to the 2019 winner. I'm Charles Pivoteau, chair of the event, and we're so honored to have revived this award after 13 years of the organization not presenting it. So today we're presenting the winner again of the 2019 award, Maggie Rivas-Rodriguez, Dr. Maggie Rivas-Rodriguez. We're so honored to have her here today. Lee Cook, president of our Austin History Center Association. And we have two of our judges present today that we're very honored, Martha Hartzog and Joe Hart. Judge. Yes, Judge Joe Hart. Thank you all for coming. And we also have present Mike Miller, the director of the Austin History Center, Michael Barnes, who we just presented his award from 2007 that he never actually received. Bob Coffey, the designer of the award today, architect, and Bob was one of the founders of the Austin History Center in the beginning with Sue McBee and Martha Hartzog. So again, thank you all for coming today. I'm gonna hand it over to Lee. Thank you, Lee.
Charles, thank you very much. This is a gorgeous Friday afternoon, October the 2nd, in front of the Austin History Center, created by the organization that I am so proud to represent today, the Austin History Center Association, which was created 41 years ago by a group of citizens who wanted to make sure this original library, built in 1933, would not be torn down. And it was the people that really represent this award today that made sure that we have this beautiful building still in the ownership of the citizens of Austin. My name is Lee Cook, and I am president of the Austin History Center Association. And today we're giving the, as Charles said, the 2019 Catherine Drake Hart Award for the individual that made not only a significant contribution in 2019 to the history of our community and representing, actually reminding us what happened before. There's a lot of discussion in America today, and even in Austin and Texas, about how important our history was, or whether we should castigate our history and maybe start over. But the people that have won this award and the people that are represented here today understand that we've got to understand our past, good, bad, and ugly, in order for us to understand today and the future. So I am very, very excited that 4 judges spent time looking at a number of nominees, and it was interesting to me that in the analysis of the people who were nominated for this award for 2019, and really their entire body of work, one of the judges said, after debating the nominees, said, every nominee that was nominated this year is worthy of this award. They all should win the Catherine Drake Hart Award. But the person that selected, that I'm going to introduce to you in just a few minutes, they said was a unanimous choice, an overwhelming choice, because of her vision, because of her tenacity, because of her just perseverance for now 22 years, but really it goes back to 1992 and what she started thinking about. And I'm happy to say, in my research of the History Center Association, she also served for a short time on the board of the Austin History Center Association, which I think also stimulated her to start the project, which is actually the Latinos and the Latins of World War II, and doing an oral history on them beginning in 1999 and expanding in 2010 to cover Korea and Vietnam, where I came from in 1970 to come to Austin, Texas as a Vietnam veteran. So it makes me double excited. And then look at all the people that she's actually done oral histories with a tremendous team of people and tremendous support from the University of Texas, and so many organizations nationwide that have funded this effort for the last 22 years. I mean, her resume is only 32 pages long, so there's no way that I can do justice to our winner in 2019. I am so proud, and I can tell you that Catherine Drake Hart, Sue McBee, and all the people that represent why we're here today, they are smiling big time this afternoon, because not only are we reviving this award, and we're doing it in front of Catherine Drake Hart's son, Judge Joe Hart, who has been a dear, dear person to this city for so long. We're doing it in honor of all the citizens who came before us, who represent history. And that's what our award winner today represents. She understands what Alex Haley said long ago, that we have so many people that pass away every day. And as he said, when an older person passes away, a library burns down. And our winner today, who I have to say, Emilio Zamora is the nominee, the person that nominated our award winner. And I can't go without saying that Amalia Rodriguez Mendoza played a key role in this, who was the president of the Austin History Center Association in 97 to 99. But today, I'm so pleased and I'm proud and I'm privileged to introduce to the citizens of Austin and the country, because she really represents documenting the history of the culture that she represents nationwide. And so with that, I want to say congratulations, and we are so proud to have Dr. Maggie Rivas-Rodriguez as the new 2019 winner. So Maggie, thank you.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate having you here this afternoon.
Thank you.
It's heavy.
I can handle it. I lift weights. Thank you all so much. This is a great honor. I did actually get my very first oral history training right here. When I was first starting to think about oral history, y'all had a training, and I came here and I learned some of the basics, and that was really helpful to me. But I'm really excited to have Judge Hart here, because I can imagine your mother would just be thrilled that this honor is continuing, that this award is continuing. And I've got to say, as the mother of two sons, both of them have been volunteers for the project since they were very little, moving furniture around and doing oral history interviews. In fact, the role that a parent plays in imparting some of the love of history is something that starts very, very early. So your presence here means a great deal to me, so thank you so much for that. I'm especially honored because, of course, Austin's my home base. Austin's the home base of the Voces Oral History Center. And when we started in 1999, we were interviewing Latinos and Latinas of the World War II generation. And at the time, there wasn't a database that we could just pick up and find people that we could interview. So what we would do is we would find people through the Veterans VFW halls or the American Legion halls. And sometimes, I must confess, I would go to a Walmart and tackle these men wearing "I am a World War II veteran" hats, because we were so hungry. There had been nothing written about the Latino World War II experience. And in fact, that's why I started this path, this journey. Was many years before that, I did a magazine piece. I was a reporter for the Dallas Morning News, and I was doing a magazine piece about the post-war civil rights contributions of the World War II generation of Mexican Americans. I couldn't find a single book. There was no book about this generation, and they had been responsible for tearing down so many barriers, and they had been responsible for desegregating institutions across the country. So I looked into it and I thought, well, how can we get these books? And I was a journalist at the time. I had never written a book, but I did know about oral history. There's a famous radio person named Studs Terkel who died a few years ago at the age of 100. And Studs Terkel started it, and he was my introduction. He had written a bunch of books on Americans' views about working, about World War II, about the Great Depression. And you think, how could anybody make something, a book about working, be interesting? But he did. And when it was people speaking from their heart, you were just captivated. And that was my introduction to oral history. So that's what we decided to do here in 1999 with the oral history interviews of Latinos of the World War II generation. And since then, the very first people here in Austin were people like Ramon Galindo, who was responsible for one of the people who started up the Mexican American Chamber of Commerce, and a lot of other people like him. And these people that had been doing tremendous work and making tremendous contributions, but really had not been recognized. So when we started doing the interviews, people were really willing and open to being interviewed. So that was the first part of it. So we interviewed, but that is one of the threads that ran through it was political and civic engagement, because all of these people had come back from the war and they had been determined to make contributions to their communities, to their states, and to the country in other ways besides being on the battlefield. And so they started making contributions that way. So that's how we ended up with political and civic engagement, and that's how we ended up with people like Barbara Gomez, with Amalia Mendoza, with people like Barrientos, Richard Moya, all these people who were the first ones, the path breakers really for all of us. So we're still continuing. Right now we're involved in something called Voces of a Pandemic. We're doing interviews about the pandemic and how people are affected by it, because everybody, we are all affected. Here we are wearing masks. It's tremendous. For Latinos, we've been disproportionately affected by it. So that's what our current effort is right now. We have a partnership of universities across the country that are working with us on this. But I have to say, the spirit of this award and the Austin History Center's work here, it's very near and dear to my heart. The older I get and the more experienced I get and I read more and understand more, the more I recognize the value of what is preserving this history right now. Because people might think, well, it's only going to be history in 50 years, but if you don't preserve it right now. And I bet you all do the same thing. I was listening to something the other day, and this woman was saying she had received a letter from Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And she said, and I need to get it, how do you call it when they put the little film on it? Laminated. I need to get it laminated. And people in history would just die, because that's the worst thing you can do is laminate something. So it's kind of like, with the oral history just comes the basic historical preservation part of this. And it's something we all can take a part in. We all have a role in preserving our family's history, our community's history, our state's history. So thank you so much. It means a great deal to me.
Well, it's from the people of Austin.
Thank you.
And that, to me, is more important than all the awards. And she's got so many awards, including, so many honors for so many things you've done. But you represent what has been missing in the Latino, in the Mexican American, in the Hispanic heritage in this state, in this country, because now you've written books, you've supported videos, you've supported documentaries. A lot of it is emulating from what you've done the last 22 years. You've got to be proud of that, and we're proud for you, and we're proud that you're among us.
Well, thank you. Well, I am part of you all, so thank you all so much. I really appreciate it.